What's going on, folks? Episode 16 of The Weigh-In. There's lots to cover in the boxing scene. With me today, boys.
Steve in the house.
Ray's back in the building.
Andy B here.
Alright, boys, let's start with last night. So, it was a big one. Amir Khan, Terence Crawford. Steve, talk to me.
Amir Khan, Terence Crawford. It was a disappointing night as a British boxing fan, to be honest. Amir Khan, one of the bravest fighters, I think, in British boxing history.
Yeah.
His record, if you look at the record, was it 13 either past world champions or current world champions at that point. He's fought everyone. If you look at the record, the people he's lost to, the people he's beat, unbelievable. Never ever quit in a fight. Always fights like you have to pin him to the canvas, as Tyson Fury would say, to beat him.
Yeah.
Or he'll outbox you. Last night was a different story. He's 32 years old now. He tried his best. I think he realised his best wasn't good enough at that elite level anymore. And I think he saw an opportunity. He thought, do I need to get Knox Park out here? No.
Do you think so? As in, he's saying otherwise. As in, we've seen him in the ring, and we've seen him get knocked spark out. And he's always given everything.
And I would like, and I hate to say that, and I would like to give him that credit, but a low blow. It didn't look like it was on the button. You've got a cup on. You get 5 minutes. He didn't take the 5 minutes to see if he could make it work.
Yeah.
It took 1 minute, and he said, "I can't do it."
Do you know what? Part of me thinks that it might have been during the fight. It might have just been a subconscious thing. Like he doesn't even realize, because the way he's talking about it, it's like his same mind is.
Can I just add that?
Yeah.
Looking back on what I saw in the fight, I don't think it was Khan. I think that a compassionate Virgil Hunter, who's a very smart man, a very good coach, he saw a good opportunity. He knew what was happening in that fight. We could all see what was happening. Does anyone think that Khan was going to turn that fight around? Of course not. Virgil Hunter saw it and he thought, do you know what? Do I need to let my fighter take this beat down? Do I need to let my fighter get knocked spark out?
Yeah.
He looked over at Amir Khan when he saw that opportunity. He said, look, let's just take this. And Amir Khan has a lot of respect for Virgil Hunter. Yeah. And he agreed with him. And they have that strong enough relationship to do that.
So do you think it's more of a fact of Virgil didn't see the fight in his eyes, so he just said, listen, is a situation of you don't have it no more.
And I think not he doesn't have it at that elite level. Crawford, pound for pound, top three?
It was always a tough ask, wasn't it?
It was a big ask. He was a massive underdog. They had a go. He gave it a good go. Yeah. And it didn't quite work out. And it's testament to the relationship that Virgil Hunter and Amir Khan have built up. There was that trust there to say, all right, let's keep it moving. We'll take it out. We'll come back another day. We can get that Kell Brook fight.
What do you think, mate?
That's Amir Khan for you. He's always top dollar. And I think yesterday we saw a lot of chaos. We saw a lot of confusion, and it was quite controversial in a sense. That's the thing with an Amir Khan fight.
Say that understatement of the year. He is, and he has been like, he's. And I think there still are good nights. There's still good nights, but just not at that level. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Just because Kell Brook. What happens if Terence Crawford fights Kell Brook realistically now? 147.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they both. Kell Brook will be made to quit on his eye. But blah blah. And
it's about to know when to quit.
Do you think he quit, Amir Khan?
Like I said, I think a compassionate Virgil Hunter gave him that look and said, "There's a way out here. Do you want it?"
Yeah.
And he took it. And in the like Ray said, in that split second, that moment where it's like, "Do I need this?" Like you said, it could be a subconscious. Maybe it does hurt too much. Maybe it does hurt. Before you know it, you've done it, and it's like you've taken the way out. Yeah. And I think that's what happened there.
Steve, in those 6 rounds, did you see Amir Khan at any stage show any signs of promise?
He showed glimmers of speed. There wasn't much power on his shots. I think he tried to sacrifice any sort of power for trying to fence and steal the fight. I think the tactics were wrong, to be honest. I think the tactics were wrong. I think he needed to be more assertive and dominant with his punches, and to try to deter Crawford early. As soon as Crawford saw that he was slapping, he was arm punching, he stood there in the pocket with him and he allowed him to time him. And that was the beginning of the end. He looked very clumsy as well. He just looked a bit off the pace to me.
Yeah, I agree. So in the first round, he was doing well up until he got knocked down. And afterwards, it was just like old Amir Khan.
Yeah.
In terms of we're just throwing recklessly, let's say.
It looked like a return to the Amir Khan who fought Prescott. You know, those ones who won the British title. That kind of
He was quite raw.
He was leaving his feet behind. He was arm punching. He was just sacrificing everything to try and throw 5,000 punches a second. You know, just trying to overwhelm. Like, and he looked a bit scared. He looked a bit like, you know. And when Amir Khan's scared, that's what he does. He reacts to he reacts to the fear he feels by trying to just throw his punches and sort of like, you know, just throw everything at his offense, and that's what he does. And it just didn't work.
It's reminded me of Sam Amir Khan, who was under Freddie Roach, where there was that lack of discipline, let's say. And under Virgil Hunter, we saw how defensively he improved as a fighter, but last night didn't see any of that.
The things he was saying, the things that Virgil Hunter was saying to him in the corner, like, you've hit the nail on the head. He was saying, you're reaching too much. Yeah. Don't be there. Don't leave your feet behind. All these old school things that he would have had to say to him. And Amir Khan, he worked with Joe Goosen.
Yeah.
And that kind of style came back under Joe Goosen. He started, you know, Joe Goosen's a very offensive coach. You know, he's very much like, get in there, bang hard, from the Freddie Roach kind of school of thought. And he had, you know, a couple of fights with him. Virgil Hunter's been ill, unfortunately. So, and Amir Khan's been away from the ring for a long time. And, you know, maybe it wasn't as embedded. Those things weren't as embedded as they should be.
I think what it is that Amir Khan's foundation right now hasn't been on his strongest axis. Because, for example, it's like you always see with a lot of later fighters that when they keep on switching coach, it's like, at this point, it's like the coach isn't an issue now. It's the fighter. They're going to always revert back to what they know. So then if you don't establish that, because come on, obviously it's like Virgil's been out for a while. This is his first fight back, and it's against Crawford. This is a big fight for them.
It's a big challenge.
Yeah, it's a big challenge for them both to like come back and reconnect. It's like you might need more of a gimme fight to do that, but you know in Khan, it's like this is a guy that really believes in himself, and then now I think he just might have come to the realization of he's not that guy no more.
Yeah, he's probably a bit too brave for his own good. Let's take it back a couple of years ago now. Maybe about 5-6 years ago now, all four of us were together when Amir Khan fought Danny Garcia. Under the Freddie Roach days, I think it was.
Freddie Roach.
Has he ever recovered from that defeat? And also, has he actually improved as a fighter?
Well, we saw him fight Devin Alexander, and I thought he put in a hell of a fight.
Collazo, very strong. Under Virgil Hunter, he's had a couple of good, very good wins. The Collazo and the Devin Alexander ones stand out, but those fighters, Devin Alexander, not really a power puncher, a back foot sort of fencer, kind of tailor-made for Amir Khan. Whereas Crawford is someone with great timing, good power, will stand there, very brave with his offense. He'll stand there in the pocket with you, and in the same way that Danny Garcia did, he'll time that 1-2, and he'll put a left hook over the top of it, or a right hook. As he fought orthodox last night when he was a southpaw. He was confused. Which is like, it just shows the confidence that Crawford has right now. He came in there against Amir Khan, and he fought orthodox. They asked him why he did it afterwards, and he was like, I wanted to show him that I'm the best fighter he's ever fought against.
There's levels to this.
It's like it was levels. Did you catch the post-fight press conference?
Yes.
Did you see when he said like, you didn't quit?
Oh yeah. That was
I thought you didn't need to do that to him. I can't fighter to fighter. Look, we know what happened there. Do you need to get a couple of that? You're already selling millions of pay-per-views. Do you need to get more off of my fucking
I think the only thing with Crawford, when he done that, was just like,
I think he realised immediately, didn't he? He was like, he judged the room, which is quite clever.
Like it was the breaking character as well. That's not usually his shtick.
And he judged the room, and then he went, all right, yeah, cool, whatever, man. He just kind of left it. He just kind of left it at that. And I thought that was quite intense. He didn't do like an Adrian Broner on it. It was like go for jugular. But yeah, it was. Amir Khan, you didn't when he came to that press conference, you didn't see any belief in his eyes. That like you see, he came out, he looked nervous. He looked a bit ashamed of himself. And he was a bit humbled.
It's kind of sad to see because
it was,
when you follow a fighter, or just not even just a fighter, an athlete from when they first rose to prominence to seeing them at the latter part of their career, if they don't have a good ending, then it's always sad to see because in your mind you'll always remember that upstart, like, what is it, 17, 18-year-old from the Olympics. You remember the hype behind Amir Khan, you remember all the highs, so then seeing him at a low is just like...
And also, when he I've seen him come to all of those press conferences after... and when he's been knocked spark out, and he's had some bad knockouts, when he's come out to the press conference, he didn't look like that. He looked more confident because last night was something worse than getting knocked spark out. It was
more of a like last hurrah, let's say. As in,
I think
comes on to my next question. What next for Khan?
The Kell Brook fight will always be there.
Yeah, I don't know.
What stadium it sells out? Who knows?
I think it's bigger than that.
Well, yeah, like, you know, it talks about
Stephen in JPEGs.
Blue Water Shopping Centre that I'm playing.
Channel 5 needs some boxing.
You do say that the Kell Brook fight will always be there, but my question is, will Hunter always be there? Virgil Hunter.
Yeah, and do you know what? And I think Hunter's a very I don't get the vibe from Hunter. He's your typical boxing guy where it's like, is there any money in this for me? You know,
you can see he really cares.
He cares about his fight, and I think he cares about fighters in general. So so even if he like doesn't have much relate, he just started training you.
Yeah,
I think he has such a love for the game and such a relationship with the game. He's seen so many people just messed up by this game that he'll tell you like, look, you know, if it's a fight where it's like, look, if they're feeding you to the wolves here, like he said that like it broke his heart when they sold him down the river to Canelo. And he said that he actually had, he didn't want to do that fight, but then he thought, what if he goes with a more offensive coach? Yeah. What will happen against Canelo if I'm not in the corner? And he was like, I can take some ownership and I feel like I can impact some, like helping him if I work that corner that night. And he goes, when I knew what was going to happen. And it's like, we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, it was a big payday. When you got a payday like Canelo.
Apparently, like I was reading about it, he's actually came from Khan's own mouth this week. He said that like his family was the one that advised him on that Canelo fight to say that.
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, really.
That's pretty fucked up, isn't it?
If we don't hear you swear often.
No, but
first,
it was. He went through the way it's like, just say that is Khan's last fight. That's why this is a very somber sort of podcast today, because like the way the latter part of Khan's career went after such highs and the way he fought and blah blah, and then like the way it just all went in the end, like just the personal problems and then the losses, and then just kind of like fighting for, like clearly fighting for money, like literally selling his name, like just bargain basement. Being a B-side.
There was a time in British boxing where it was him, David Haye and Ricky Hatton. And Amir Khan was that guy.
Yeah.
Like representing, you know, GB. And,
arguably the biggest GB draw.
Pretty much, yeah, without a doubt. And it's just sad, like, you know, I know over the years people
he was a millionaire in boxing before he had his first pro fight.
Pretty much.
He was unbelievable.
I remember following him on ITV. That's when he was with Frank Warren.
Yeah.
He was fresh at Olympics, and he was like 17, 18 at the time.
Yeah.
And it's the first world title 21, 22?
Oh, he's like literally like a year after getting knocked out by Prescott.
Yeah.
What a man. I went to watch him against Barrera up in the MEN that night, and it was like just some event. To see Barrera was like unbelievable, to be fair.
It's a golden moment.
Do you know what it is? Because I know that Khan was also chasing that Pacquiao fight.
And the Mayweather
fight. And obviously the Mayweather one's not there no more at all. And I still think he thought that the Pacquiao one could still be there. And honestly, my feeling was, I had a feeling Crawford was going to win, but I said if he has a spirited fight against Crawford, he could still get that fight against Pacquiao if Pacquiao then loses his next fight. But with a loss like this, that Pacquiao fight now isn't looking too good. And then in addition to that, it's just the politics between him and Kell Brooks. It looks like they're both going to end not fighting each other, and it's always going to be a what if match. And they're just going to, they're basically going to grow old saying, if we did fight, I'll do this to you. But at this point, I don't know whether it will happen or not.
Well, Kell Brook was in attendance at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, was he? He was, yeah.
He was there. But I mean, my question is, you know, he's seeing two fighters in the ring here, Crawford and Medrick Torres. So why not chase Crawford? Why not get that belt? Why go for the loser?
He kind of said through like half breath, like, oh yeah, I'll fight Crawford as well.
Listen, he learned from no disrespect to Brook, but I think he realised through that Errol Spence fight about the whole level situation. I think Brook is another one. It's just like he realises he's a mercenary. This is for money now.
Yeah.
So I think
he was a mercenary when he fought Golovkin, for God's sake. Like,
but even to be fair to him, to be fair to him, the Golovkin fight, he done quite well against.
Golovkin was playing. Golovkin.
It was only a matter of time.
No, it was a matter of time.
Imagine if Golovkin did to Brook what Canelo did to Khan. Yeah. He had to go easy on him, because if you get in there and crush someone who's 2 weights below you, imagine you go in there, you just bludgeon them in the first round. Everyone's gonna go. Unnecessary. There's no need. So they have to give it a little bit of like razzmatazz, 5 rounds, and then like.
I think if Khan gets another gimme fight next, but it has to be a gimme fight. You cannot give him no one hard at this point. Then they can maybe resurrect the Kell Brook fight. So you got to give him a fight that is really favoured in Khan's favour to like look good. Like he has to look spectacular so that they can sell the fight, because at the end of the day, a lot of Khan's losses haven't looked good on him. So you need to erase that from people's minds.
There's still fights that Khan could win. It's just like, how much does he does he want to do this or need? Like, I think that.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about in regards to the Brook fight.
British boxing's had like this explosion in the last 5-10 years, whatever. Yeah. And I think we're a little bit away behind American fighters in the knowledge of how to end a career. I think American fighters have been going through this for a long time, where it's gone on too long and they've dragged it out, and then people like Mayweather have realised this and sort of gone, oh, we're not doing that anymore, and they're kind of wary of that. Yeah, they start their career thinking about, how am I going to end this career? David Haye was talking about it. He got suckered back in.
As well.
Yeah. Ricky Hatton got suckered back in, and I think, you know, fighters need, like, fighters in this country, because the money has never been that big. The money's huge now in British boxing, that they need to realise, like, all right, look, my health is on the line here. I've made enough money. Let me just go on a little walk here. Let me just leave it. I don't need to take every penny out of this game. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't need to see Amir Khan get chinned again. Like, what, for a few million? Just, if he needs it, he needs it. If he wants to do it, he should do it. But I just think, you know, you lost to Crawford. No one's going to hold that against you. Yeah. You've had a great career. Don't go on and start fighting. Like, look at the way David Haye went out. It's like, that was a bad beat. Like, do you know what I mean? David Haye back in the day, he was the man. Yeah. He had this air of invincibility. Like, he'll beat anyone. Even in that fight against Tony Bellew, I thought he was gonna win that fight. When he got stopped, I was like, he's just gonna, referee's just try. Get up, Dave, get up. And like, he went out like that. You know what I mean? It's just don't go out like that.
It makes you appreciate Tony Bellew more for the way that. Well, it seems now that he's really convinced himself he's not coming back again. But then you applaud it as well, because like we've just said about fighters coming back, it seems like Tony Bellew is like, listen, I do not want to be one of those guys.
The man for that was Joe Calzaghe.
Oh yeah. No, Calzaghe was, but I mean, in terms of recent times, Tony's shown that, listen, don't come back,
because like there was money on the table for Tony Bellew. He could have made some more. Like he could have kept. They could have milked that dry. Froch as well was another good example. He caught like 80,000 Wembley. You're not going to top that.
That's what we're calling it. I think maybe it is time to call it a day. At 32 years old, would you want another tune-up fight? And yes, if you look at division, it's pretty stacked.
Killers.
You got Porter, you got Crawford.
And there's the best division in boxing.
And there's young bucks coming through like constantly. There's loads of good fighters in that division constantly.
Like, who would he fight?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
That's what I say. One more give me fight.
But against who?
That's the thing. You can't find a contender, and that's the.
Brandon Rios is still.
Oh, come on! No. You'd rather call it a day.
Victor Ortiz.
I don't know.
You wouldn't dig him up, no. You wouldn't dig him up. All right, I'll record it.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, I think it's the end of the day for Amir Khan, and that's no respect to him as a fighter. I just think.
He's a
great credit to the sport as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
If your body's not got it, leave it out.
Think of your health as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like, he's not exactly like one of these tough guys who can sort of negotiate his way through a fight. He was getting knocked out when he was young. Like he was getting sparked out differently. He's not like a B-hop who, even if he lost, like the last one was bad,
a rugged loss.
But you know, he could fiddle his way through a fight and get through it. Amir Khan's not that guy. I mean, if Amir Khan starts getting in there with killers and he's past it, he's gonna get dismantled. And like, do you really want to give like Josh Kelly the opportunity to make his name off of you? That's what they're gonna do. They'll be like, Josh Kelly, Amir.
The block.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Better than that.
Just call it. Like, why sell like it'd be like, you know, try and like let Eddie Hearn use his use you to promote the new boy.
Liam Smith, is he 147 or is he?
No, he's 154.
154.
Yeah.
Eggington. Actually, I don't even.
Let's not list these.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's the issue.
Look.
Look.
Malinaji let Eggington get the drop on him and retire him from the sport. Malinaji, 2-weight, 3-time world champion. Yeah, the list of Danny Garcia on his record, Miguel Cotto, Amir Khan. He let Eggington retire him on an undercard at the O2 where no one watched it. Bro, don't go out like that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Don't go out like
retire
that.
now.
Retire now, exactly. Retire. Like,
Yeah,
you top the bill on a Bob Arum on a top ranked show.
Yeah. With the Bob father, man.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Against Terence Crawford, who's going to go down as a pound for pound great, and you came up short. The record books will show it was a bit of a controversial one, as Andrew said. Leave it at that. Be like, look, he low blowed me, the bastard.
Pretty much. So yeah, Crawford, pound for pound. Number one fire.
Number one.
No.
Who's better, Ray? Come on, you're saying that adamantly.
In terms of that sort of top 10 pound.
Obviously, due to boxing politics, we already know the fight that needs to be made to decide who's the number one pound for pound, and that's Spence and Crawford.
Absolutely.
But
where's Furman in this?
Furman's
what
not.
do you mean? Like,
Furman's
Furman's
got
not
a few
there.
more fights to go.
Yeah.
Get his name in there.
He struggled
The
against
injuries
Lopez,
as well
man.
hasn't helped.
Huh?
He struggled against.
Has he
Lopez.
lost recently that I'm not knowing about?
It just hasn't looked as impressive as the other aforementioned fighters. That's it.
He struggled against José Lopez.
But yeah, but he beat these records ain't
But
good.
he's been out for a while.
He's the man, but I don't think you can put him in there in that sort of.
Whoa, it's Spence.
Party.
He hasn't put.
Spence beats him for me, man.
Huh?
Yeah, Spence beats him.
For me, he's out of Spence and
What? So you lot are saying not even worth the fight?
No, that's
not
not
worth
worth
it.
it. But
It's
I'm
not
saying,
that.
I honestly think Spence has him.
All right, but that's not guaranteed. He beat Garcia. He beat Porter. Who Spence beat?
Well, Kell Brook, innit?
What? Kilbrook's I beat Kilbrook, man.
That
His
was-
optician fucked
That
him.
was not Ray. That was not Ray.
Nah, man. I think Furman's got to be in with a good shout, man. He's fought those top level
Yeah,
guys.
but you forget he's been out the ring for a while, man. And he came back. He fought Lopez. He
He
struggled.
didn't look impressive.
So it's the matter of just have a few more tune-up
Yeah,
fights and
yeah.
take it from
All right, but
there.
he's still you can look impressive. He's still at that sort of top level.
Oh no,
Yeah,
he's
he
up
is.
there. No, we
I'm
never
not
said he's
saying
not up there.
in that little trio, I think they're all thing, and I think that Furman and Spence are more likely to fight each other than Crawford.
Oh, yeah, of
Crawford's doing his own thing, man. Crawford.
Well, Furman and Spence are both PVC.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But they've showed a willingness to fight sort of, whereas Crawford's fighting good fighters.
Yeah.
But he's not fighting like
Bob Arum. Well, no, not Bob Arum.
Bob Arum. But to be fair to him, Bob Arum hasn't got the fighters for him to fight. But but it does seem like who's his welterweight record? Like, do you know what I mean? He's fought Amir Khan, a faded champion.
Yeah. But how many fights has he had in welterweight?
3.
There you go, then, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying right. So he's got a very very good record.
Yeah.
But there's the welterweight killers are on the other side. When you've got people fighting Porter and Garcia and coming out with wins against those are the killers of the.
It's a matter of time. Like at 140, he fought killers, man.
Yeah.
He fought Postal. Don't put Gambo as a killer at 140. Shut up. Put some respect on the name, man.
On a side note, give it to Garcia. He's back in the frame now. He got a win yesterday as well.
Ronaldo's,
Yeah. So
He
Garcia's
knocked
back.
him out,
back
didn't he?
yeah.
You got to rate Ricky Burns as well. One of them scorecards was 115, 113 when he fought Crawford. you got to put some respect on Ricky, man.
Them judges are on crack.
No, it was a close fight. When Crawford won it. Crawford won it by like 4 rounds. It was like 116, 112.
That ain't exactly close, is it?
Yeah.
For that kind of elite level fighter
True.
against
True.
you put.
Crawford was just up and coming back.
Huh? Yeah, it was yeah, true. But still, it's still like 40 became. You can always say,
Yeah, I suppose so.
you know.
Yeah.
Alright,
think-
cool.
It's a very exciting time there in that division.
Yeah, as always.
Sad for Khan.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a somber tone. So move on to something a bit more comical, like Big Baby Miller.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. So we're not talking one test.
We'll come to that in a second. I was just going to say, Clive there, American sensation, Shakur Stevenson, also
Oh,
won
yeah,
last night. You're a big
so,
fan of his.
Yeah, so he was very impressive. So he was someone watched the Olympics. So he was 18 then. Showed plenty of promise last night. It looked awesome. Fantastic movement, great speed, and Yeah, lots to come from the kid.
Would he beat our man from Leeds, Josh Warrington?
Mate, that's Space Raider. I think, you know what, like, credit to him, man, calling these guys out. Like, you know, Stevenson, he's only 21 years old, and, yeah, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised.
What did he get? He must have went to the Olympics at, like, what, 18?
He was 18, yeah.
Hell, man, imagine.
Mate, like, for sure, he'll win a world title. Like, he's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, he's very talented.
And, I think the Warrington fight's a bit too early. There's a lot of players in that division, man.
Kid Galahad as well.
It's always a good division. Also, there's not a lot of weight between the division below and the division, but so they can move around quite well there.
Yeah. I think the Vasquez fight, Kid Galahad, Warrington, I think those fights will be there, in the near future. For now, just, continue your practice. And
someone like Scott Quigg might be a good fight for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A good challenge, and I think...
As in, I forgot the guy who fought yesterday, man. Was it Diaz? So, yeah, like a decent record.
Yeah.
Over 20, I think it was 25 wins, no losses.
Yeah.
Fair play to him, man. I think, Shaquille should just continue. And there's no need
to rush him. Bro, you're a baby. Like,
he's got Andre Ward as his manager.
That's the thing, though, my concern. Andre Ward is an absolute legend in the sport, but wasn't known for his sort of knockouts. It was a case of just getting the job done. Winning it. And is there any player that Stevenson can kind of follow in that same path?
Yeah.
I mean, how much do you
take that sort of like that Mayweather and Andre Ward approach where they probably could, like, Andre Ward probably could have got more knockouts, but he was just like the win before everything. Like the win comes before everything. Don't take any risks.
Look at him now. Like, he come out healthy. He retired in his early 30s when he was like 31, 32.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Like, he didn't take a lot of damage. That's what it's all about. Like, Mayweather gets a lot of stick for, like, his style of boxing. And there's fighters out there that,
Yeah, no, you
entertain the crowd and whatnot.
It's true. As a fan, it's a tournament there because, we love the game and you do want to see the fighters do well out of the game. But then you're a fan as well and you kind of do love those. So I think you just got to take those crazy fighters as and when they come, but you got to appreciate those kind of boxers as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you say, Andre Ward, like, got in, made his money, didn't take any punches, didn't take any losses. Gave some promoters the runaround, so got some wins on some promoters.
And he done good in the Super 6 tournament, which was like a very big, that was a very big thing.
He won that.
He
won that.
He did against Frotch. That was, I think, people forget how people.
He was living in like Frotch, he said.
He's taken out.
I think people forget how monumental that Super 6 tournament was at the time, because especially it was quite slow at the time. But hopefully something like that returns soon.
Who was part of that? You had Kessler. Was Kessler part?
Yeah,
Kessler, Frotch, Darrell, Andre Ward, Arthur Abraham, and then there was a couple of stand-ins.
Shit, it's like a WWE Money in the Bank, man.
No one ever heard of anything like that before.
And talking of WWE, video, is it Mick Foley? Remember him?
Yeah.
Mankind. Jack.
Yeah. He's a big fan of heavyweight favourite David Allen.
Oh yes, last night.
Legendary segue. I loved it.
I like Foley, man, Mankind. Dave Allen, he needed that win.
Needed it, yeah.
What a body shot.
Yeah.
What a body shot. Like, you can't, if I know I'm seeing a line from Eddie Hearn here, but if someone who we deem to be world class, if Crawford landed that on Khan last night, that same tuck it under the left hook under the ribs, it was he did, but it was a counter under a right hand, and it weren't a lead body shot, it was a counter body shot. That's one of the hardest shots in boxing to time, and one of the most dangerous shots to throw because you're open to the counter on top of that, and he snatched that so perfectly. I didn't think David Allen could do that, and I thought Lucas Brown was going to win that fight because he was twice the size of him, and I just thought, come on, this guy's operated. He's won a world title. He's operated at such a higher level. Yeah, and David Allen just messed around a lot. But no, David Allen switched it on last night. Yeah. David Allen, David Price, the fight I want to see. Yeah, bring it on.
Battle of the Daves.
The Battle of the Daves. Yeah,
that was without that the biggest win of his career. Yeah. My question to you, Ray, as well is: has David Allen gone from a sort of semi-joke fighter to now a serious top 10, top 15 sort of contender? Maybe in Britain.
I think the issue is sometimes because of his persona, people think that they don't see him as serious. But I think he's made himself put a serious case for himself to look serious to people and let people know yes, I'm a funny personality and everything, but at the same time, I can fight. And I think that was good for him to just show that, listen, I'm still here, I'm still about, and I'm still here to knock off heads or knock people in the body. So I think,
on the face of it, he's beat a former world champion headline in the O2 last night live on Sky Sports. There's a lot of fighters that would love to trade place. You're on the cusp, and then they're saying that they're going to put him on the pay-per-view undercard, maybe like chief support to Dillian White against him and David Price. Eddie Hearn was saying this last night, and it made sense. It's a long shot. There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
But could he beat David Price?
I think so, yeah.
Probably could.
All right.
Yeah.
So then he was saying he gets them put into a fight with either Chisora or Povetkin after that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I would love to see him in Chisora.
If he beats Chisora,
yeah,
he's a top 10 contender. Dave Allen is a top 10 contender if he beats... Oh, mate, what a man. Like, literally, there's a lot to do. A lot of, there's a couple of 50-50 fights there, but if he wins 2 50-50 fights, he is going to get a big payday from someone.
So, yeah, David Chisora, now coached by Colwell. So, he was coaching Tony Bellew, a close friend of his. He fought last night too. The fight was pretty disappointing.
You're going to have to catch me up because I fell asleep, took a little cat nap during that one.
Mate, to be fair, it went from his end.
I'm very casual win, wasn't it?
I'm only messing. Like you were saying before the show, Chisora, he got the rounds under his belt. He worked out a few little things with Caldwell, and I think it's just a case of back to the drawing board. Like, do you know what I mean? Chisora's one of those guys. He needs the right opponent, and to get him a really light guy who's going to run away. That's not your guy. David Price or Dave Allen, that would be a good fight for Chisora because neither of them run away. They'd have a fight, and he needs people like that at this stage of his career.
Big domestic fight.
If he's 35 years old, just get him fighters where they'll stand and they'll fight him. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't need anyone who's going to run away at this point. He's done enough in this game. He's fought Tyson Fury twice, talking to people who are going to run away. Like, you don't need that. You need just people who are going to stand there with you. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's the issue with Chisora. There's certain fighters out there who can only get motivated by that big occasion, that big fight. Because we kind of forget that he lost in Monte Carlo. That was kind of sandwiched in between two very narrow defeats to Dillian White.
He's unbelievable. Some of it, I've watched his whole career, and some of the performances, and they always do that.
Yeah.
His worst performances have come before his unbelievable performances. Do you know what I mean? He'll labour to a 6-round like split decision win over a journeyman, and then he'll go out and beat up Robert Helenius when Robert Helenius was in his prime, beat up Vitaly Klitschko, literally just up and down.
And he's also a man who took it to the later rounds, if not points, to Klitschko.
He did. Klitschko was hanging on that final round. I implore you, go and watch that final round against Klitschko. He chased him all around the ring.
Vitaly Klitschko, I must say.
Yeah, he was the fighter. He was a hell of a fight. He chased him all around the ring, and then he caused a ruckus. And then he got 100.
He glassed me.
He got 100 grand for the fight, and then had the 100 grand taken off. They withheld his purse. He went on a rampage. He slapped Klitschko at the weigh-in.
Yeah.
He spat water in his brother's face when he got into the ring, and then he had the fight with David. He literally caused a ruckus.
World career, man.
He's
Did
mate.
Don Charles get punched?
Charles got punched.
Yeah.
Adam Booth got a little.
He bought him a Mercedes because he hit him with a tripod. He hit him with a camera tripod.
And he thought Chisora.
So he bought him a C-Class Mercedes.
WrestleMania
is sort of the biggest brawl we've ever seen.
Yeah, that was classic, man. That was.
He glassed me. I'm going to physically.
Isn't it quite remarkable that a couple of years later now we're seeing him managed by David Haye.
Oh, that's hilarious.
This
boxing's a funny game.
Boxing's a weird one. They had a. Do you remember when they fought at West Ham? They had a cage in between them. So dumb.
It wasn't even like a manufactured special cage. It was just like the ones they use on construction.
They nicked it from Raynham Steel.
Let's just borrow this real quick. Bring it back.
Ryan's so ghetto, man. He's so budget, that guy, man.
That was embarrassing, man.
Oh man.
Cool. Cheeseburgers, yeah.
A final word on these cheeseburgers. You gotta get these cheeseburgers.
I got these cheeseburgers, man.
When it comes to fuck up of the year, man.
Fuck up, yeah.
We're talking what? How much did he do? 6 million?
Yeah,
7
mil.
I just don't get it. He's won the lottery. He hit the jackpot. You're fighting the world champion in your own backyard.
Bro.
You're getting the biggest paycheck you can ever
Imagine the cheeseburgers you could have bought with that, bro. Like,
He could have
Big Druggy Miller, mate.
the finest of cheeseburgers gone down the drain,
mate,
man.
that's that Five Guys, that Derek Chisora Five Guys burger, man.
So if that was the first test, right? And so what is it? So I need to refresh myself.
We've got a whole list there.
Yeah, man, I've got a whole list,
It's
man.
got a whole rap sheet.
So no, literally you can hear it. It's got a piece of paper, man. I've got a list there.
Big
So
dossier there, go on.
so he failed a second urine test collected last month, as well as a blood test. So the blood test collected March 31st turned out positive for human growth hormone. A third urine test also collected revealed positive results for both EPO as well as other substances.
Other substances.
Let's not forget, he's the man who was calling out Joshua for the whole drug scandals.
Mate, it's fucked up.
That felt like a Jeremy Carr reveal, bro. That felt like a Jeremy Carr reveal. Well. You've been lying.
Come back to see the results straight after the break.
Like EPO, we got a UFC fighter recently, TJ Dillashaw. He got boxed for EPO, and it's like for those who are not familiar with the drug itself, it just reminds me of that situation with Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, it's what he got popped for. It's endurance in a bottle. It literally.
What a bastard.
And this is unfortunately the game that we're in, and it's a. Do you know, there's a lot of fighters doing it.
Nick Diaz said it, man. Nick or Nate or both of them.
Both said
everyone's
it.
on drugs.
Everyone's on steroids. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
This is like boxing,
It's serious,
man. Especially heavyweight boxing where they're throwing bombs.
It's crazy. And as Eddie Hearn said, it's not like you took a bit of something to get through your training camp. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or do you know what? I just need something for the injuries. It was like you went out there on a search and destroy mission for Anthony Joshua. You just
free time.
And I don't get what you're getting randomly drug tested twice a week. I just think with VADA. VADA do every sort of test. They are the gold standard.
Yeah, they're part of the whereabouts campaign as well. So if you're a boxer, you have to sort of confirm where you are, no matter where. I think quite recently, Dylan White was training in Miami.
Yeah,
you had to let them know that he's in Miami, and at the airport, boom, they were there.
Oh wow!
They don't mess around.
They don't
mess around.
It's insane. He completely messed out for himself. The fact that this fight was his own, like Andrew said, in his own home turf. And this could have been a breakout fight for him.
Joshua must be really upset because I know Joshua also wanted to breaking into the American market. This would have been a perfect.
You need that loudmouth, brash American, don't you?
Yeah.
You're saying this hurts the zone, man.
Eddie Hearn is sweating it, man.
So over in America for the zone, they play $19, right? So again, the zone's like the Netflix for sport. And on June, during June, we only have the one fight. Well, we got Golovkin. And he's fighting some geezer I never really particularly followed.
Yeah, it's a struggle, and breaking into that market, it was never going to be plain sailing, was it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Especially with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn didn't even have an American stable of fighters, so you've picked him to be your main promoter, and he doesn't have have any standout American fighters, and he was going to use your money to build a stable of fighters, and this is what has happened now. This is the problem. So They actually brought Anthony Joshua out as an emergency. Yeah. He was supposed to fight at Wembley in April.
That's the thing.
But they've gone, right, look, we need you for this DAZN thing. We need to get you out here. Yeah. They've brought him out there.
Done his media run. Dropped a good freestyle on Sway in the morning. He's just wasted that. I'm very upset.
Oh, man.
Joshua has to come back and drop some new bars for the next opponent.
Yeah, that was all he had. That was it, man.
I don't know, where do they go from there? So there's talks about what you were saying, Michael Hunter, Luis Ortiz, Manuel Char, and who else?
The irony if they pick Luis Ortiz to fight him.
Adam Kownacki.
I think Adam, like you were saying, Adam Kownacki is probably one of the favourites. He's a New Yorker, good record, and just kind of a budget. Jarrell Miller.
I was about to say, how is he?
That sort of same circle.
Yeah, and he's just not a budget. Not in terms of his fighting. His fighting's okay. It's just Jarrell Miller's a bit further along in terms of being promoted, in terms of building his name. Yeah. Eddie Hearn invested a lot in Jarrell Miller. He gave him 5 fights.
He had him on Soccer AM, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, and he put a lot into him to build that fight. This fight with Anthony Joshua has been years in the making.
Yeah, so Jarrell's been in the crowd for a lot of fights.
Why do we as English people know about Jarrell Miller so much? It's not like he was this kind of this big Olympian or something. Yeah. He was a random guy. Yeah. Eddie Hearn picked him up. He looked the part. He was a brash. He was a brash New Yorker. You know, that's the perfect guy.
Yeah.
And now he's messed it up. He should have gone with Kanaki.
It's a real shame.
Is Kanaki a brash guy as well, though? Is he gonna be like?
Not like that.
He doesn't fit that.
No. He won't be as good. He won't be.
Then
I was gonna say because obviously he needs that antagonist, and then
Who else we got on this list? Joe Joyce, absolute novice.
Luis Ortiz will be absolutely ironic considering the fact that he's actually been popped before, but
that's the thing as well.
He paid his time, man.
Yeah, when you need a fight, you need to sweep under the rug. You know, Canelo.
I would pick
under the rug.
If he was to ask me, I think Adam Kanaki or Michael Hunter.
I'll pick Ortiz, man.
No, in terms of what I think will happen, Ortiz, is definitely the best one there.
Like even in shape,
It'll be an American-based fighter.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think Michael Hunter would be a bit of a nightmare for Joshua. You know, he's smaller,
a bit nippy,
and he's just a bit like it's just a bit awkward. Do you know what I mean? Just like it'd be a bit. I don't think he'd beat Joshua at all, but I think Joshua would not look good in that fight. Joshua needs like a big stand-up guy.
It's a shame. I was looking forward to his Baby Miller fight.
Yeah,
very much looking forward to it. I thought the build-up was quality.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a good little fight, especially with Jarrell Miller on all those drugs. I thought it would have been a real ding dong. You know?
Well, it's not the fact that he took one substance. We're talking like.
No, he was a walking pharmacy. That kid, like he was literally boots, man. That guy, he was on all again.
Like, how did he think he was gonna get away with it?
he's like needle in the arm as they come in. Oh, you right there. Just
good old vitamin C jab.
Yeah, just don't look over it.
It's a huge concern, and then think of Joshua as well. I mean, as a fighter, how damaging is that for you in your camp, knowing that your opponent has kind of ruined it for himself?
Yeah,
but this is why he does VADA testing though, and he would rather have this happen than get in the ring with Jarrell Miller. And Joshua's a smart guy. He knows the game like better than anyone, and that's why he does VADA testing 365 on sort of weekly tests throughout his camps, and he gets long camps as well. So he'll arrange to fight someone 6 months early, so that he'll get a real good run on them.
In terms of that preparation, you know,
I think it's fine. We've still got about 6 weeks.
We've got 6 weeks now, so I guess.
But now he's a bit nervy.
It's nervy
because in terms of drugs taking, and this is kind of an awkward one, because whoever comes in now has not been subject to the VADA testing and they could have been trained, they could have been juicing up, like thinking that fight could fall through, because everyone when Joshua's fighting, they're all them heavyweights are training. They're all thinking. There could be an injury. I'm gonna.
We saw that with was it Pulev a couple of years ago?
Yeah, fought Takam. Well, that was under like 2 weeks' notice, right?
Yeah, look, and he fought well. He clearly was in shape, and he was training because he looked great.
There was no way you're going to last that long.
Yeah, he looked great. He fought really well, and he wasn't match sharp, but he was fine. He was good. Yeah. But all these heavyweights are circulating, and they're thinking, do you know what?
These names we mentioned, right? Yeah, they could easily walk out with 5 mil. So of course, like, you'd be trained, you'd be staying prepared. Like, given the situation,
someone like Luis Ortiz, a big name, and if he was to take that fight on short, they'd have to pay him well. Imagine just 5 million. You're like,
to be fair,
62 years old.
I'm sure they always do.
Tiring of sport.
So much. To be fair though, I'm sure they always normally do have like an alternate.
So is that right?
They always normally do have an alternate ready.
Yeah, they do.
It's just, I guess it's just marketing wise.
Well, they say they do anyway, but when it falls through, they're like, we've had this guy ready. £300.
In terms of that sort of physical frame, you know, you can go from spending 6, 7, 8 weeks in a training camp with someone in that sort of stature of Miller, and then suddenly you've got someone who's probably 2 inches, 3 inches taller than you. Southpaw.
So Michael Hunter, for instance, completely different to Miller. Like, you couldn't think of a more polar opposite. One is a big 300-pound guy, walks forward. The other guy is a 15 stone, boxes on the back foot, very nippy, good little jab, head movement. It's a nightmare. Like you say, you've trained for it. Look what happened with Takam. Yeah. If Joshua was training for Takam for 8 weeks, he would deal with Takam. Yeah. It was the switch from Pulev. It was a massive change. And he struggled in that fight.
Different game plan, different strategy.
Yeah,
different
psychologically. We had a big announcement last night with the Dillian White, the big man.
Mm-hmm. So, Oscar Rivas?
Oscar Rivas, yes. I know some of you said who. Out there. This man he's got boxing credentials.
It's Oscar Wilde, man.
Oscar De La Hoya.
I know he's ballooned up, but not that much.
Oscar from Chelsea. So, he fought Brian James recently. I think he knocked him out in the 12th round. Colombian fight, I think his record is 26-0 from the top of my head.
Maybe 24-0.
Perhaps.
Somewhere there. In and around the 25.
To be fair, he's someone who I've not followed. It's the first I've heard of him. I've just checked out his resume yesterday, and
I've watched it.
I was seeing it.
I watched him on YouTube. I was watching him on YouTube this morning. He's a good, very strong fighter. He's a good fighter. He's an Olympian. He's skilled. He's not one of these Olympians that's kind of like a little bit lightweight. He's very strong, very heavy-handed.
Well, he looks the part.
He looks the part. He's a bag of muscles, which doesn't always tell you the thing. But like you say, he just knocked out Brian Jennings, a strong contender. He's kind of the gatekeeper now. And if you're dealing with Brian Jennings, Luis Ortiz dealt with Brian Jennings. You know, if you're dealing with that, that means you're a top guy. You're getting into that top 5. We don't know his name yet, but I think he's a good fighter. But I think, from what I saw today, I think it'll be a good fight with Dillian White because they're both kind of a similar style. They stand there, they fight, they bang.
Yeah.
But I think Dillian White will come out on top and look very good doing so because Dillian White's a very good fighter.
We must give Dillian White a lot of credit. You know, he's arguably the most active heavyweight there at the moment. If you compare him in that sort of mini league with Joshua Fury,
and he should really be facing Wilder.
And he takes setbacks and like. Do you know what I mean? The business side of it does not look favourably on Dillian White.
Yeah.
And he does what you should do in that situation. He gets to it. He gets back to the grind and he goes, right, who have I got to fight to get me that title?
Yeah.
And then he fights them and they go, it's still not ready. And he's like, all right, who will I fight now then?
And what venue do you doing this fight?
It'll be at O2.
That's his hunting ground.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
O2.
You know my thing.
It's too expensive.
I'm always skeptical about the O2 because I just feel like because it's been normalised, people think that it's always going to be a big turnout for the O2, and I don't know.
Dillian White will do a big turnout. Last night did like 8,000.
He's a big name.
So,
but 8,000 in a 20,000 space arena.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why last night wasn't great. But Dillian White,
there'll be a big undercard.
And also like you're saying, they're going to do David Price, Dave Allen, Chisora, Parker apparently.
Oh Lord.
Dave Price, David Allen, they should have that at Liverpool.
And then a couple. But you know, the boxing in the UK has become a very sort of nationalised.
What's your yard on undercard?
Yeah,
undercard. I think that's a headline, man.
Not them facing each other. I mean, in terms of each fight.
Oh, that's who they said. Akoli Lebedev.
Oh, I like that.
Hugging Central.
So we'll have a little loving after interval. But no, that'll be you'll all be there. You'll be watching. You'll have bought on pay-per-view. Don't lie to yourselves.
I have my Akoli scarf on.
You've been to a few Akoli fights now.
I have.
Yeah, just the insomnia still playing up now.
Boys, let's wrap this up. But before we do that, let's do predictions. So June 1st, who do you think Joshua's going to be fighting? So we spoke about it briefly. Andrew, who do you think is going to be taking Miller's spot?
I'm going to say Manuel Cha.
Manuel Cha?
Dark horse.
Is it?
Okay.
I'll give you good odds for that. What are you saying? I'll give you 3-1 for £1.
Manuel Cha.
Manuel Cha. I'm going to go one of the Americans. I'm going to actually
Dave Allen.
So I was thinking Pulev the other day.
That whole scandal with
but the kissing scandal's a bit weird.
Which we don't condone, of course.
Of course not.
Yeah, no.
For shame.
No.
Disgusting.
Yeah, Clive, have you ever tried that? I'm gonna go Kanaki, whatever you say his name is.
I think I'm gonna do the same Kanaki only because get an American in there.
Makes sense. Yeah.
You want that UK first, US.
Yeah, I think Michael Hunter would look a bit weird at the weigh-in because he's so much smaller. I think he's only about 5'10".
Oh wow!
And he's just 15 stone. He used to campaign at cruiserweight, and he's just come up. So I don't think that would look great on TV. You need someone quite big to make out these things matter.
I think it's going to be King Kong. Luis Ortiz.
Whoa, Cloud going big,
yeah.
I think,
they need to put like Eddie Hearn is sweating it, and he needs to pull something out of the bag
he needs to
here.
pull something out of the bag, man. Like, I know the zone are pissed off with the Rocky Field and Canelo numbers, so they need to really come in strong this summer.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
What fights come out? Will we have a podcast out when Canelo and Jacobs fight?
That's May.
It's early May, isn't it?
May 4th, the first weekend.
What's today?
Yeah.
We may do. Which we
do.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. That's it for today, lads. So yeah, that's episode 16. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, The Weigh In. Subscribe, like, all of that. Peace.
Have a good one.